Hi YouTube friends, this is Emily Craig, known as Shakaya, and I'm responding to NASA's IMAX Blue Planet because I spend a great deal of my time looking at NASA data and at NASA photos and videos. Why do I do that? Well, I used to work for Xerox. I was a digital imaging reproduction specialist, and then I became one of their trainers, and I taught other people how to examine digital images to see whether they were constructed correctly, or were they skewed, or were they stretched or compressed, or was the contrast true, was it inverted, was it extreme, was it non-existent? What about the resolution? What about the focus? What kind of focus did the camera have? Where was the resolution set? And what are the colors that have been applied topically? Okay. And what I have found over the last 5 years of careful study of NASA photographs is that they alter their photographs in every respect that I just mentioned. Okay. So I look at this beautiful movie, and it's professionally done, and it looks marvelous, and they give us the audio clips that they've been saving all this time. But there's a problem here, because disinformation and adulterated photographs have been added into the scientific mix. So science becomes a matter of hierarchical faith. The policies top down in hierarchy of secrecy, need to know, compartmentalization, and confidentiality. These policies breed an ignorant public who can swallow anything only if it's presented professionally, which is what this movie does. Present a lot of false facts professionally to make them look real. Yeah, it's cleverly presented, but it's full of false information. If you have seen telescopic videos by John Leonard Wolfson or Henning Kemner or some of the other guys who are videotaping the moon and who realize that the automatic f-stop setting, which is infinite, is completely wrong, and the f-stop needs to be set much, much, much closer than standard and regulation. And if you work with the fact that NASA uses a resolution, they call it, it's how many dots are in a square inch. How fine is the photograph? NASA always uses 72, which is very, very gross. And industry standard for any photography on the net or movie or anything is 300. So there seems to be a reason why NASA doesn't want things to be quite as clear as perhaps everybody else's. When in this movie they describe the moon as barren and lifeless, I turned it off, because that's not what independent amateur videos show. Now, why does NASA videos show barren and lifeless not only on our moon, but particularly on Mars and in satellite flybys? The reason is that magical f-stop. They set the camera focus on infinite, so all they can ever see is the texture of the soil, the texture of the rocks, and no foreground image or moving image gets focused on. That's the trick they're playing on us, in order to only show us what NRO and NSA allow them under treaties signed by presidents, the Greada Treaty down through the Tau 9 Treaty. The treaties do not permit disclosure. They will not permit disclosure, and NASA is the propaganda arm to make sure that it happens that way. And I just had to speak up. And I'm sorry to see that it's this way, and I wish it wasn't this way. The reason I got into this study once I once I recognized that NASA photographs were being altered and deformed, was that I don't like my children and my grandchildren at this point to be taught false space science. I don't like my grandchildren to be taught what isn't true. And that's my reason for doing this. I hope you understand. And this has been Emily Craig, Shikaya, and now you understand why I object to what NASA says about just about anything. You know, you do what you know, and you do what you can. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Well, if we don't have the truth, we're not free. So let's get the truth. Let's get it. Thanks. Bye.